weird things women weren't allowed to do. Hello folks. You must have seen an incident where a woman is being restricted from doing something at least once in your life. But do you know, in the past, there were petty things women were not allowed to do? And in today's video, we'll tell you about some of the weirdest things women weren't allowed to do. But before that, if you are watching this channel for the first time, then do subscribe to the channel for more such factual videos. Also, hit the bell icon so that you get a notification whenever we upload a new video. 8. Opening a bank account or owning a credit card. Until the 1960s, American women couldn't open a bank account using their own name, even though it seems like the most basic of necessities. In the case of single women, they either had to use their father's name or their husband's name. British women were only given the right to own bank accounts in 1975, while French women were given the right to own bank accounts as early as 1886. When women applied for credit cards or loans, they were usually denied because of their gender. The signature of the woman's husband is one of the requirements for a credit card. Later, the laws made it illegal for banks to deny a woman a credit card. 7. Having their own passport. According to Craig Robertson's book, The Passport in America, until the 1930s, married couples were issued a joint passport, in which only the husband's name appeared, along with a wife or accompanied by his wife. The idea that a married woman would be traveling alone was so unthinkable that no one bothered to plan for it, partly because many countries don't require a passport to enter, and partly because many couples wouldn't go through the trouble of applying for two. In 1937, the Passport Division of the Department of State issued a memo eliminating the wife of requirement and allowing married women to use their maiden names on their passports. 6. Smoking in public. There are some cities in the United States where women were banned from smoking in public at the turn of the 20th century, though these laws were generally short-lived. New York City politician Timothy Sullivan banned women from doing that in the early 20th century. This sexist law was repealed by the mayor after just 2 weeks. 5. Serving on the front line. The U.S. military has a long history of restricting women's rights within their ranks. The first female 4-star general in the United States was Anne Dunwoody. Women were banned from keeping their hair in place with bobby pins under their jump school helmets in the 1980s because the Army claimed they were hazardous while parachuting. Even though women were allowed to serve as permanent members of the military in 1948, they were not allowed to serve in combat positions. The combat ban was lifted by the Joint Chiefs of Staff and service branches, were given 3 years to implement the change. Defense Secretary Leon E. Panetta stated that they should have the right to serve if the members of the military could meet the qualifications for a job. Now that you have come halfway to this video, hit the like button if you have liked it so far, also subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so you don't miss out on any videos. 4. Taking sexual harassment and marital rape cases to court. Women in the United States were not allowed to file lawsuits against men for sexual harassment they experienced in the workplace until 1977. There were other discriminations in the judicial system. Until 1991, women in the UK were not allowed to file charges against marital rape by husbands. 3. Divorce. It was early in the US. If you were a woman, divorce was very difficult. When it came to the final decision as to whether or not the divorce would be granted, judges were allowed to exercise their own discretion, because each state had different rules. Each state had different rules regarding how many times a man could physically abuse his spouse before she was allowed to divorce him. In some states, divorce wasn't legal at all. South Carolina did not legalize divorce until 1949. If you are a woman who made a decision to end her marriage, be thankful that you live in a modern-day world. The reason January is called Divorce Month is because of this. 2. Using birth control. The Food and Drug Administration approved the first oral contraceptive, Enovid, in 1960. That didn't mean it was available for use immediately. It wasn't until 1965 that the Supreme Court ruled that states couldn't ban married couples from using contraceptives. The Supreme Court legalized birth control for everyone in 1972, regardless of their marital status. 1. Wear pants. It sounds crazy, but there was a time when pants weren't considered appropriate attire for women. In fact, it was often against the law. Women were not allowed to wear pants in many states in the 1800s and early 1900s because of laws that said women could not dress like men. The laws weren't always enforced, but women who wore trousers were definitely frowned upon. It was a high fashion that helped change the perception of society. In the 1910s through the late 1920s, designers such as Coco Chanel started incorporating pants into their collections, and movie stars wore them with flair. Today, the women's wardrobe is filled with everything from pantsuits to blue jeans to yoga pants. And that's it for the day. Which one of these shocked you the most? Tell us in the comments. Stay tuned with facts, folks, and fun for more such content. Also, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and press the bell icon so you don't miss out on any video. Do share the video with your friends.